All right, let's break down the big new NHL 25 Blog 3 plus coaches update. It's our first massive title update. It's not just one of those patches where they're trying to just fix some seriously broken matchmaking things that like needed to be in day zero patch. So this is a substantial change to gameplay, as well as one of the biggest franchise mode updates we've had in a while. Franchise mode continues to be really underrated, I think, this year, but. So 1 p.m. Eastern time on November 4th, everything is now released once that's hit. So the coaches update. We're excited to announce the arrival of all 32 official NHL coaches in EA Sports NHL 25, along with their unique personalities and strategies they employ in the real world. This coaches update will span across a multitude of modes, with the coaches providing their signature schemes and traits to the league. Each coach has a slew of abilities that symbolize their real-world strengths. For example, a coach like John Tortorella brings a physical coaching style and specializes in developing veteran players. Additional areas of differentiation include power play, PK, teaching, and influence. These traits will be important distinctions between how teams play and develop. So, obviously, you can see here Paul Maurice, one of the best coaches in the NHL, and maybe for history. You can see he's all statted out here, the reigning Stanley Cup champion head coach. So, each coach's actual team history and record will be shown in game and will be updated based on future teams that they may sign with and results within your franchise mode. So, as you can see here, John Tortorella. If you hire John Tortorella, you can actually see the teams that all of his prior stats and everything like that. So. Again, just a massive positive when it comes to immersion to the game mode. Something that's good to see for all the franchise players. So really love to see that. Need to state this. It is not in Hockey Ultimate Team. I don't know if it's ever going to come to Hockey Ultimate Team. It would be really cool if they did a massive update to coaches where they don't just give a synergy boost. It's, maybe some sort of chemistry. Like if you have John Tortorella, you get plus 2 to body checking or endurance or strength if you have X amount of Philadelphia Flyers in your lineup or something along those lines. I think that'd be really cool. But nonetheless, love this to the game and specifically for the offline players. All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes. This is a long one. There is a ton of gameplay changes that were necessary and some that are going to be not controversial, but definitely polarizing. So we'll start first. Fixing. I'm going to read through all of these and I'm going to touch on them if there's specific examples. Some of it's just like fixed animations that you never see, and we'll just kind of skip over that. So, fixed an issue with players' sticks colliding with the puck during stumbles. I don't know an example of this. I'm hoping that if you bump a player or there's a situation where you poke a puck free, that you actually have a chance to get it back. I find too often now, because players' offensive awareness is so high, that when you knock a puck free, the player just keeps it anyway. So, but I haven't seen examples of this too often. Fix an issue when fast forward to a new shift and getting scored on. Fixed an issue when fast forward to a new shift and getting scored on. I don't know if I'm not reading that right. I have no idea what that pertains to. Anyways, fixed an issue where skill-based one-timer on-ice feedback wasn't appearing for skaters with 1T zone X Factor. Oh, this is for Be a Pro. My apologies. Okay, so fix an issue where skill-based one-timers on ice feedback wasn't appearing for skaters with the 1T zone ability. This doesn't pertain to Chara, because I know a lot of people specifically were having issues with 1Ts with Chara, but I know that there was some people that were having an issue with it not appearing, and then it still would pop off. So this is a good change. Obviously, fixing this for anyone that had the 1T zone X Factor ability, like the new PK Subban, for example. So that's good that gets fixed. Added an additional error to passes aimed directly at the goalie while within close range. This is to fix that stupid glitch that people that just need to win at all costs because they are nerds, where they just pass it through the net. This was a major issue at launch, and they fixed it a little bit. It was still very rarely still happening, but that should hopefully take care of the passing it in through the 5-hole, which I hope is fixed. Fixed alignment issues with the chop puck to help increase the success rate of chop puck while stationary and skating. This is massive. This actually cost me a game early on in the year before I realized it was broken. So the fact that puck chops are now working, it is a very, very good thing to have, especially when you two are running in the corner defensively to keep possession. So I'm happy that they fixed this, because I remember I went to go do it once. It literally hit the puck but didn't move, and I ended up getting scored on, so I just stopped doing it entirely. Fix an issue when a user disconnects in an online game, which results in two AI players causing a line change. I think this is for EASHL. Fixed a rare issue where the CPU may not skate onto a loose puck in the defensive zone when in position to obtain it. I don't know if you guys have had this, but when your goalie comes out behind the net on like a dump in and you go to send it up the boards because there's a player there, and your player, instead of going to the puck, will skate into the middle. I've had like 3 or 4 goals be scored on me because my player, when I pass the puck up the boards with my goalie, he'll skate into the middle away from the puck. So this was a major issue, not a major issue, but something that was really impactful, because if the player skated away from the puck, your opponent got it and then immediately just fired into a wide open net. So I'm super happy that that's fixed, because that was really, really annoying. Fix an issue that blocked goalies from making certain saves while leaving the hug post into butterfly. I am wondering if this is pertaining to the short side goals going in. So if you partook in the Panarin moments, backhand, forward, and tight, but on top of that, you could literally just make any deke and huck it at the net right from the goal line to the side, and the goalie would come off the bar. So I'm hoping that takes care of that. That'd be a big fix, because again, it was just an ugly goal that shouldn't have been going in. So I love that. I love that that's in the game now. Fixed an issue where CPU players with back at you zone ability were not able to execute reverse hits. You're never gonna see that in HUT. Again, I'm pertaining to Hockey Ultimate Team. My following is mostly Hockey Ultimate Team. Fixing a rare issue where a CPU player with the puck skated back into their Fixed a rare issue where a CPU player with the puck skated back into their zone when they should be focused on attacking. Does that mean, that might be like puck ragging in squad battles? That could be huge, because that's been so annoying for years now. Absolutely love that. Fixed an issue with skill-based one-timers not triggering one knee-down shot animations when successfully timed. I think this is when, I don't know if you guys have seen it or paid attention, there's like some animations where your player's shoulder will literally come dislodged and he'll raise the puck or raise his stick higher than Danny Heatley in his peak. And I think that's because they wouldn't go down on a knee, and that's the animation they were trying to trigger. So I don't think that'll actually impact the game. I just think that will hopefully fix the broken shoulder 1T that just always looks so funny. So fixed an issue where a goalie pocheck on a loose puck can cause the goalie to get out of position and miss the puck. I haven't seen this too much. If anything, I've seen the goalie pocheck be really effective, especially on like cross crease passes. But I haven't seen this example specifically. Fixed an issue where a goalie can overslide their movement when tracking a puck banked off of the end boards. Again, I haven't personally seen a lot of that, where they overslide. I'm trying to think of the goal. I'd be like the Polg's goal where you turn around and then try to go back to the far side post. But that goal is pretty covered, so haven't seen a lot of that. Fixed a rare animation when a skater skates too close to the net and the model looks disjointed. I don't know what that would look like. Fixed a rare end of period crash that could trigger while shooting the puck at the end of the period. I haven't seen that personally. Updated plays for the 1-3-1 power play. Explain. What does that mean? What? Updated plays for passive, standard, and aggressive 3-on-3 overtime in zone strategy. I'm hoping that this will allow us to actually set like standard so that when you get to overtime, it's not passive and your two players are stationary to the point. That was awful. I'm hoping the 1-3-1 power play, I guess it is the one where I noticed that the wingers wouldn't move very much. So maybe that's what they're talking about. All the other strategies, I've noticed the players moving a ton. All right, here's the big one, fellas. Sit forward. Listen up. The gameplay tuner notes. The developer feedback is setting up a... This is going to be... dude, people are going to love and hate this. I can't wait to see the reaction. Setting up a perfect skill-based one-timer is a rewarding hockey play, and we want players to feel the satisfaction of hammering home the puck. We want to be very mindful of any adjustments that may reduce the effectiveness. This update reduces some of the additional bonuses applied to skill-based one-timer shots, which can impact the goalies indirectly. So, in this first tuner, Reduce stamina drain on skill-based one-timer saves. This is huge because one of the really bad things about just doing the one-timers over and over again was that it would take two and then you basically get full pressure and the goalie is completely gassed. So I love that. That is something that wasn't talked about enough. This is a positive no matter what way you look at it. Because it was just ridiculous. Like legit, you would get full pressure and start draining their players after like two, right? Reduced bonus shot accuracy applied to perfectly timed skill-based one-timer shots. So we've got our first nerf to the skill-based one-timer. I had talked about this quite a bit, that I think that at the higher end of the game, the skill-based one-timers have become a major issue because it doesn't require a lot of skill. However, in the lower end of the game, I set my poll on Twitter, if you've seen it, at like 1900 and below in terms of skill rating, that players sort of enjoy being able to do DDD one-timers. I personally don't think that they should go in the amount that they do. I'm obviously scared that if they nerf it, it's completely gone because we've seen that. And if it doesn't work anymore at all, I think that's really bad for the overall of the game. But we'll have to wait and see. I think that these two changes specifically are good, but we haven't played the game yet to know. One of the things that is I'm wondering about, and I haven't spoken to the developers about this, but I might be making this up, but I swear that when we were testing the game, I remember seeing a yellow light when you don't time it perfectly. And it would basically be kind of like a regular one-timer. Whereas what's happening now is that I think the area to actually get a skill-based one-timer was so big that it's either green or red. And if it's green, you're getting the full accuracy and full power, and that's how all those shots are going in. I think that if they lessen the range of green to make it harder to hit and brought back the yellow, like again, I could be making this all up. I'll be honest with you. I talked about this a little bit with Padre on the Coffee and Shell this week, but I could be completely wrong. So don't quote me on that, but I think that might help out here just to reduce the window to get a perfect 1T. Again, we'll have to wait and see. I think that's a lot of people have enjoyed being able to take DDD one-timers. They're so easy to defend. I got to be honest with you. If you've watched my strategies video, I give you exact examples of how to do it. But I also understand that at the high end of the game, it's very hard to defend the plays down low because they're so good at keeping the puck. And then also the point as well, but I personally have, I didn't really have any problems with DDD one-timers simply because I really wasn't giving them up a lot. But the unscreened DDD one-timers were ridiculous, but there's no mention of that here. So game modes, I'm not going to touch on this. There's a lot of franchise mode crashes. Again, my audience is mostly for Hockey Ultimate Team, so we're going to skip down a lot of conversation and contract negotiation fixes, which is always a W. World of Chell. Again, tons of crashes were happening. World of Chell kind of got released in one of the worst states it's been in, so it's nice to see that they've got a lengthy list of fixes here. Our presentation, because these are kind of big, these were really, really annoying in HUT specifically. So cameras, fixed cameras, looking at the wrong bench during a hat trick celebration, added more camera variation in the post-game menu replay. The grudge match, fixed grammatical bug that showed 0 wins as 0 win. Team shots in the grudge match intro have been updated to improve variety and fixes to handedness bugs. This still doesn't fix the issue that grudge match triggers on every single game you play, from my experience, even if you've never played the person before, and then it doesn't show your actual record, it shows how many wins you have, 0 and 0. So grudge match still doesn't work at all. It reminds me a lot of like NHL 21, I think it was, when they brought in that augmented reality, and it was a back of the box feature, but it just didn't happen. And then they ended up like removing it because it was causing too many issues. Grudge match feels like that. And I wish it would just be turned off until it's until it's fixed. But it is what it is. Okay, the broadcast. Fixed a bug where goal scorer celebration ends early when cutting to big game ending. Fix a bug where teammates do not properly celebrate after scoring a goal in overtime. Fix an issue where the post-goal group hug has a broken player when scoring with an extra attacker on the ice. I've seen this a lot. Fix an issue where the sync screen stays up until the next face-off when a post-goal group hug is skipped. So this, I believe, will take care of that sync issue that's happening, which is absolutely massive. I think that's a big W, and absolutely love it. Because that was one of the it was one of the more smaller issues, right? And it was just like, oh, I guess we just have to live with this, but when you scored a goal late in the game and you had to win the faceoff to like keep the game alive, when this happened, it was just a complete like vibe killer. So, fixed an issue where the wrong team's coach was being displayed during moments of coach satisfaction. I think that's Be a Pro. Fixed an issue where the digital dashers where the scoring player's name wasn't appearing post goal. General improvements to smoothness of transitions when transitioning from gameplay to NIS. I can't remember what NIS stands for. Fixed a bug in one's eliminator. And then, replays. Fixed an issue that showed a goal replay after stoppages for saves and penalties. And fixed an issue to properly show the right X Factor ability in the post-goal sizzle replays. It was incorrectly showing the zone ability instead of the grudge ability. So that's good. I don't see any of the issues where it was like, hey, I scored a goal, but then it shows the prior goal's replay, which was super annoying. Be a pro, offline mode, flex camera, Hockey Ultimate Team. Fixed an issue with Wildcard, where salaries were not updated when a player had been upgraded. So no more putting in the 85 Jamie Drysdale, the XP one, and it would only count as an 80, even if you had him upgraded to 85. That's good. That's good for the mode, honestly. And then you couldn't edit your lineup. There was ways, but no. Oh, NIS stands for non-interactive scenes. Thank you so much. It's always good to have a developer in the chat. Fixed the custom goal horn setting in HUT so that the horn should now be played when you score a goal. So we might not be able to use NHL arenas because, of course not. But now you can now go into, a lot of people don't know this. If you go into the screen where it shows your record and your stats, right, for your whole team, and then you go over to audio settings, you can actually change your horn no matter what arena you use. So if you want to make people just go absolutely belligerent, you could use whatever arena and then use the Ottawa Senators goal horn. Fixed an issue where the player lineup screen disappears from the manage team menu when switching between play offline and online within wildcard. I didn't experience that issue. Fixed an issue where the objectives title bar is missing on certain screens. Again, didn't really experience that all that much. So, updates. Added XP path feedback into the objectives screen. I don't know what that means. Added in XP path info and tab to HUT champs post-match flow. Okay, so they originally dropped champs and it didn't count towards the XP path. We all said, what? And then they made it so that it did. So now they actually show the XP being added at the end. It was still being added. It just wasn't being shown because they had to hot fix that into the game. It'd be crazy if they just asked us anyways. Added in XP info and tab to competitive seasons post-match flow. Comp seasons are back? This doesn't exist. Okay, sick. All right. Fix an issue where EA Sports logo was being displayed on the Kelowna Rockets alternate jersey. This was happening on a bunch of jerseys, I think. Is there any out here? Fix the misplaced Fanatics logo on the Hurricanes jersey. Nothing here. Presentation. Heckler now faces the right direction, no longer clipping through overlay during EASHL 6v6. Anything else? Fixed an issue where face-off light shows for Dallas, Buffalo, Edmonton, and Tampa were faster than intended. That was, I feel like, was a seizure warning. Fixed an issue in HUT Wildcard 5v5 with power rings displaying only green and black colors. Some other various things that don't look all that important. Upgraded the following team's center ice art. Okay, so they fixed a bunch of the NHL center ice. Too bad we can't use that in HUT. The following uniforms have been added. A lot of AHL, ECHL. Ooh, CHL. Who else do we get here? This is all the Erie Otters 4th. Okay. Yeah, then there's a lot of... Okay. And that is it. So, obviously, big fixes, or the biggest takeaway, is going to be the D2D one-timers. I think that is going to probably be the biggest dramatic change in terms of gameplay here, but also some minor ones. The goalie not coming off the post in tight, I think, will be pretty big for those kind of goals. That was a very common one if it wasn't D2D one-timers, but obviously the one-timers are starting to get looked at. We've got our first nerf to them, and if it follows what happened last year, again, they kind of went and released their new stuff to the 10th degree and then just worked it back all year. And that's kind of what I expected this year with the DD one-timers and just one-timers in general. So good to see that. The syncing issue was fixed. And then obviously a lot of other various things that, weren't. I'm wondering if the Zdeno Chara card was suffering from the 1T issue that it said that only players with the 1T zone ability weren't having the skill-based one-timer light up. I'm wondering if Chara had that issue, even though he didn't have that ability, and wonder if maybe Chara now plays a little bit better for players. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And then obviously, if you're a franchise player, it's a massive update, obviously for the coaches, and then all of the fixes to World of Chell, and just making sure that stuff actually works. So we'll wait and see how that plays. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback on if you enjoyed the 1T nerf and what you expect going forward with it.